Living versus existing, a guide to meaningful end-of-life decisions.
Have you ever felt alone in your own health battle? Have you ever felt that doctors, perhaps even your own children, are making decisions for you instead of with you? They talk about trying to save a life, but does anyone ask you what living truly means to you? How do you get your family and your doctors to truly listen to the deepest wishes of your heart? Modern medicine can extend our existence, but can it guarantee our happiness? Today's video won't give you another prescription. Instead, it will give you a key, a way for you to define and pursue a life of meaning and peace, even when facing health challenges. You will learn exactly how to talk to your doctors and your family to ensure that your wishes and your joys are always put first, no matter what your health condition is. This might be the most important conversation of your life. And more importantly, I will show you how to take back control so that every day you have left is a day worth living. Stay with me. We are living in a miraculous age. Medicine has taken unimaginable leaps. We have antibiotics, surgery, chemotherapy. We can replace hearts, replace joints. Medicine is designed to fix. But what happens when we face things that cannot be fixed? What happens when our bodies naturally begin to age? The truth is, modern medicine is trained to fight disease and delay death at all costs, but it has not been well trained in how to help a person live well with the unavoidable frailty of old age. Today, we're not going to talk about the 5 biological signs of the last year of life. We're going to talk about 5 problems, or 5 warnings, in how we approach old age. And more importantly, we will find solutions to live better.
Problem 1. We confuse safety with happiness. As we get older and begin to weaken, what is the greatest concern for our children and doctors? It's safety. They're afraid we'll fall. They're afraid we'll forget our medicine. They're afraid of us being home alone. And to keep us safe, they begin to take away the small things that make up a life. They set fixed meal times. They lock the medicine cabinet. They don't let us go outside by ourselves. They turn our homes, or a care facility, into a mini hospital, safe, clean, but sterile and dull. From a medical and psychological perspective, this is devastating. When a person loses their autonomy, the right to decide even the smallest things for themselves, they fall into a state of learned helplessness. Depression increases. They feel like a burden. They are no longer a person, but just a patient to be managed. So what is the solution? Instead of only asking, what is safe for mom, dad, let's start with a different question. What makes life worth living for you? The solution isn't to be reckless. The solution is to find a balance. Step 1. Identify what truly matters to you. Take a quiet afternoon to ask yourself, what does my ideal, normal day look like? Is it making a cup of tea for yourself, sitting in the morning sun to read the paper? Is it caring for a small plant on the balcony? Is it listening to old music or talking with friends and grandchildren? List 3 to 5 small things that make you feel truly alive. Step 2. Communicate clearly about the level of risk you are willing to accept. No life is without risk. Instead of eliminating all risk and taking all joy with it, learn to manage it. For example, the problem, you get dizzy, so your children are afraid you'll fall and forbid you from the kitchen. The solution, instead of forbidding, find a solution together. Organize the kitchen neatly, lay down anti-slip mats, place a sturdy chair in the kitchen so you can sit when needed. That way, you still get to cook your joy, but more safely. There's a famous story about a nursing home. They noticed the elderly residents were very sad. Then they decided to bring in 100 birds, 4 dogs, and 2 cats. They also planted many indoor trees. They gave each resident a responsibility to care for a plant or to feed a bird. What happened? The mortality rate dropped significantly. The number of tranquilizers prescribed was cut in half. Why? Because the residents had found a purpose for living again. They weren't just safe, they were living. They had a reason to wake up. That is the power of autonomy. Never underestimate it.
Problem 2. Medicine focuses only on treatment and forgets the person. When we are 60, 70 years old, we don't just have one illness. We often have a combination: high blood pressure, diabetes, a little heart trouble, some joint pain. Modern medicine has specialists. The cardiologist worries about the heart. The endocrinologist worries about blood sugar. The rheumatologist worries about the knees. Each one does their job very well. But the problem is, no one takes a step back to look at the whole person. Aggressive cancer treatment might make your heart condition worse. Arthritis medication might harm your stomach. We get so busy fixing each part that we forget the whole person is buckling under the burden of all the treatments. This is a subtle warning. When a doctor only talks about numbers, blood pressure, blood sugar, tumor size, and doesn't ask you, how do you feel with all these medications? That is when medicine is failing. The solution here is a very modern field of medicine called palliative care. Don't be mistaken. Palliative care is not hospice care. It is not giving up or running out of options. Palliative care is a team of specialists who work alongside your treating doctors. Their goal is, 1, to reduce pain, both physical and emotional. 2, to control side effects, fatigue, nausea, insomnia. 3, to help you and your family understand all the treatment options. 4, to ensure your quality of life is the top priority. Next time you see your doctor, ask them, besides treating this disease, could I also see a palliative care specialist to help manage this fatigue or pain? A good doctor doesn't just know how to write a prescription. They must know how to help a patient identify their life goals and then use medical tools as a means to achieve those goals. Find doctors who are willing to listen and respect your priorities. A famous study at Massachusetts General Hospital followed patients with late-stage lung cancer. They were split into 2 groups. Group 1 received standard chemotherapy. Group 2 received standard chemotherapy and met with a palliative care team from the very beginning. The results were astonishing. Group 2, with palliative care, was less depressed and had a higher quality of life. And here is the most surprising part. They lived, on average, almost 3 months longer. Why? Because when you are in less pain, less tired, you have the strength to tolerate the treatment better. This proves focusing on the person is also the best way to treat the disease. Problem 3. We avoid the hard conversation. Nobody likes to talk about death. Doctors are trained to deliver good news. They fear giving bad news because they're afraid of taking away hope. Children avoid it because they don't want to upset their parents. They often say, "Don't worry, Mom, Dad, you'll get better." And the patients themselves stay silent because they don't want to be a burden, don't want to make their children worry. We are all trapped in a conspiracy of silence. What is the consequence? When an emergency happens, a stroke, a heart failure, the patient is no longer conscious, and the burden of decision falls entirely on the children. Should we put dad on a breathing tube? Should we operate? The children have to guess, and they always guess in the direction of doing everything possible because they're afraid of regret. This often leads to painful, invasive medical interventions that the patient themselves may never have wanted. We must break this silence, and we must do it while we are still healthy. The solution is the conversation. These are the questions you need to discuss with your doctor and your family. Not questions about life or death, but questions about quality of life. Prepare these 4 golden questions. 1. What is my understanding of my current health condition? To ensure everyone understands the truth. 2. What are my biggest fears or worries? Is it fear of pain, fear of losing my memory, or fear of being a burden? 3. What trade-offs am I willing to make and what am I not? For example, I am willing to do chemo if it helps me attend my grandson's wedding, but I do not want chemo if it just means I'll be bedridden. 4. What matters most to me right now? What makes a good day for you? A famous surgeon, Atul Gawande, tells the story of his father. His father had a tumor on his spinal cord. The doctors proposed an extremely high-risk surgery that could leave him completely paralyzed. Instead of deciding immediately, the whole family sat down and had the conversation. They asked the father, "What matters to you, Dad?" He replied, "I fear paralysis more than death. I want to be able to talk, to eat, and to recognize people. I do not want to live completely dependent on machines." Based on that answer, they made their decision. No surgery. They chose less invasive methods. The father had more time, though not as much as the surgery might have given him, but it was quality time. He was lucid, happy, and surrounded by his family until his final days. That is the power of daring to speak the truth. It doesn't take away hope, it redefines it. From that conversation, we realize something important. Medicine can keep a heart beating, but can it preserve a life? Problem 4. We confuse existing with living a meaningful life. I'm going to tell you a truth that all ICU doctors know, but rarely say out loud. Saving an 85-year-old with multi-organ failure is very different from saving a 30-year-old in an accident. When a body is already very frail, aggressive interventions like CPR, intubation, dialysis are often just one final torture. The chance of an elderly, frail person leaving the ICU and returning home to walk around normally is extremely low. They might survive the crisis, but they end up bedridden, unable to breathe on their own, unable to eat on their own, living the rest of their days in a nursing home. The question is, do we call that living, or is it just existing? The solution is that you must be the one to draw your red line. Think very carefully. What are your limits? Complete an Advance Directive. This is a legal document that tells your doctors and family your wishes in case you can no longer speak for yourself. Ask yourself these questions. If my heart stops, do I want CPR? Knowing it can break ribs and has a low success rate in the elderly. If I cannot breathe on my own, do I want a breathing tube and a ventilator? Knowing I might be on it permanently. If I cannot eat, do I want a feeding tube? For me, what is worse than death? For example, being in a vegetative state,
losing my memory completely, being 100% bedridden and dependent. A geriatrician said he always asks his patients this question: if tomorrow you only had a short time left, where would you want to spend it? In an ICU with all kinds of machines, or at home in your favorite chair? Nearly 100% answer at home. But tragically, statistics show that over 70% of us die in a hospital or nursing home, often in an ICU. Why the difference? Because we did not state our wishes. Don't let others decide for you. State your red line while you are still of sound mind. It is the greatest gift you can leave your family, freeing them from the burden of having to guess what you would have wanted. And finally, once we have addressed safety, treatment, and the hard conversations, we come to the most important issue. This isn't a problem, but a mission.
Problem 5. Living with purpose, regardless of age. The greatest human truth is this: we need a reason to exist. We need to feel useful, to feel that we belong somewhere. When we get old, society often strips us of our purpose. We retire, losing our job. Our children grow up, losing the role of caregiver. Our health weakens, losing the ability to do what we loved. This feeling of uselessness is the greatest enemy of old age, more so than disease. We must fight to hold on to our purpose. If you are growing older, 1. Find something to care for. It could be a plant, a pet, or simply caring for yourself in the best way possible. 2. Find a way to contribute. Share your experience. Teach your grandchildren an old skill. Write down your life story. Join a club. 3. Find something to learn. It's never too late to learn a new language on your phone, or learn to use social media to call your grandchildren. If you are caring for aging parents, don't take away their jobs. Don't say, "Mom, rest, I'll do it." Let her shell the peas, even if she's slow. Let Dad water the plants, even if he spills. Ask them for advice. Let them feel that their knowledge and experience are still valuable. Do you know about the blue zones? These are places in the world like Okinawa, Japan, or Sardinia, Italy, where people live the longest and healthiest lives. What do they have in common? They have no concept of retirement. In Okinawa, they have a word, Ikigai, your reason to wake up in the morning. A 100-year-old man still goes to his garden every day. A 90-year-old woman is still the spiritual pillar of her entire extended family. They don't try to live long. They simply live with purpose. And that very purpose helps them live long. Never retire from life. Find your Ikigai. Even if you are 80 or 90, even if you are in a wheelchair, you still have value. You are history, a treasure trove of experience. Share it. So, we have walked through 5 major issues. We realize that 1. Happiness and autonomy are more important than absolute safety. 2. Caring for the person is more important than just treating the numbers. 3. The hard conversation must happen while we are still healthy. 4. We must define our red line to distinguish between living and existing. And 5. A purpose for living is the best medicine for old age. Old age is not a medical catastrophe that needs to be fixed. It is the final, natural, and inevitable chapter of life. What remains when we are gone is not how long we lived, but how deeply we lived, how we loved, what legacy we left behind. The greatest legacy isn't money. It's how we face our final chapter, with courage, with clarity, and with peace. Don't let fear or silence steal your right to write your own ending. Live fully,
until your very last breath. Don't be afraid. Be prepared. If this video touched your heart, please hit the subscribe button. We are here to walk with you on this journey, with strength and autonomy. In the next video, we will talk about how to build the mental strength to face any adversity and live a memorable life. Thank you for listening.